Hello, welcome to another Deck Musings. Favourite video of the week. Yeah, I always enjoy recording this. Who knows what rabbit holes we could go down and things we might uncover from yesteryear. So, in the background, you can't hear it because obviously I don't want to be demonetized, but I also have this playing through my headphones. Excellent playlist on Spotify, Deep Meditation 2024. Thoroughly recommend it. Also, if you like sort of ambient, sort of music you like for coding, but I've obviously been putting together stuff for the upcoming coding videos that I'm going to be doing as part of that Learn to Code, Code to Learn series. And often the mellow stuff is my go-to for coding. Sometimes I put it up a notch. I think yesterday I was listening to some sort of classic 70s hard rock. But yeah, always nice to have something chill in the background when you're doing a more chiller video. So we are up to here in our journey through Standard as a sort of backbone to hang this series off. And it's got interesting as well now with the way the World Championships line up. We'll see if this carries on, but I'm seeing a less need to cover theme decks. Not that I don't like doing theme decks, but I would prefer if I did tournament decks. And just the way everything's lining up now, I'm now seeing more standard events that I can talk about and or the ubiquitous block format decks that I've always liked to talk about. But currently we're here Pro Tour Honolulu, which was standard format. You can see here rather conveniently we've got lists of popular decks in the meta at that time. We've just had Guildpact come in as of February the 20th, and the Pro Tour for Honolulu was in March. So that's coming. So we're at this point in time we're just adding to standard. So just a quick overview. Yep, the format is standard, no other formats. We're going to be looking at the winning deck, this green-red aggro deck, which here is referred to as Gruul Beats. You notice I'm back to MTG Top 8 after praising the other one that I was using. Was it Star City Games? Probably one of those ones. I can't even remember now from last week. But anyway, whatever one I was using, I come to look up this particular Pro Tour Honolulu, and I think it only has 2 decks in it. So I've gone back to MTG Top 8. And it's also nice to see a Top 8 where it's either, most of it's not just one deck or maybe 2 or variations thereof. But to see, decks, at least superficially, we'll have a look once we sort of click on these, because I want to have a quick look through all these. There's something else I want to bring to your attention, which is going to be pertinent when we look at the deck, because of a card that's sort of been mainboarded. So if you take a look at the top 8, so this is today's deck. Some of the stuff we've probably spoken about already. It'd be interesting to see what in this deck has come in from the most recent set. We've got a zoo deck in here. Now, straight away, just notice in the like the deck, the land base, that's the word I was looking for, the land base, mana base, the sheer amount of non-basic lands that we have in here. So Gruul Beats has got a few, Zoo has a lot. Hand in hand, how are we doing? Yep. Owling Mine, cool name. Yeah, it's still something. I think isn't it the Heartbeat deck that had just Forest, Islands, Mountain, Swamp. So this looks like what, 4 colour. Are we running anything? I don't think we're running any additional fixing in the sideboard. But so yeah, we got 4 colour deck. It's not running the. I was going to say I wondered if it was running one of those. Well, Nephilim, but no, because they were 4 colour, weren't they? Yeah, so 4 colour deck. Izzytron, because Urza's was around care of, was it 9th edition? So you've got this really interesting mixture of sets where you've got a load of non-basic stuff in the core set to fix for mana, and then you've got all of this different non-basic land that were in that are available from, was it Champions block, Champions of Kamigawa block, and then also the stuff that's coming in, of course, for fixing for 2 colours in the, as it's sort of slow rolling, I suppose, as each set comes in through the block for Ravnica block. So we've got Orzhov aggro, and actually there are 2 Owling Mine decks in the top 8. Yeah, so let's look at the deck. We're going to be sort of going down various rabbit holes, and keep a lookout for this particular set symbol, because this is going to be the newest stuff. And we'll also see whether or not for this deck we've got a bit of everything from all of the available sets. So let's do that now. Actually, it's probably easier to quickly check through that before we go through the individual cards. So here's our main set from the Ravnica block. So Ravnica City of Guilds. We got that's in here. 9th edition, Guildpact. There's quite a number of cards there. Back to Ravnica City of Guilds. Another Ravnica. There's a Champions one. Let me just check. What's that from? Oh, so Betrayers. I meant to say Betrayers of Kamigawa. Yeah, you can see our land. We got stuff from Ravnica City of Guild, 9th edition, and stuff here from Guildpact. 9th. Yeah. Umezawa's Jitte and Flames of the Bloodhound. So we haven't got everything from the Champions block in terms of just all the sets. So we just got one basically. Okay, let's go back up again. So nice, heavy Ravnica basically. So heavy Ravnica block. So we have look at the curve here. So yeah, I mean 8, 9, 11 cards, creature cards that are 1-drops, all 1/1s, but interesting, isn't it? It's a 1/1 for 1. There's 3 of these Frenzied Goblins, and when it attacks, you can play red. If you do, target creature can't block this turn. 4 Kird Apes, another 1/1 for 1, but gets a +1/+2 as long as you control a forest. So the earliest you're going to be able to play this and this takes effect, of course you could already have it in play and then play a forest. So basically turn 2, if you get a red, actually that's a good point. I didn't think of that, did I? Unless you have one of these in play. But yeah, still, so yeah, I'm thinking, I'm speaking before I'm thinking here. So yeah, so really, definitely obviously going to need to have the appropriate. So yeah, if you get Yeah, I am right. I know. If you manage to have that out, so if that comes down turn 1, you pay the 2 life, and then you can play this, and straight away it's a 2/3. Yeah, because you control a forest, but you've used the red to cast it. Cool. Or another route is this. No, sorry, it isn't, because you need, this is important, as I said on a previous week. So any cards that reference certain type of land, those dual lands that have that in the land type, super important. Anyway, I got there. Scorched Rusalka, single red, 1/1. Red, sacrifice a creature. Scorched Rusalka deals 1 damage to target player. We got 4 Dryad Sophisticates. Now, the reason why I was sort of pointing at complicated mana bases featuring non-basic lands is because this has non-basic land walk on it. So it's pretty. You're really okay probability wise in main decking a card like this in this particular meta, because as we saw in the top 8 there was basically just one deck which didn't have non-basics in it. Of course they have to be out. Then we got 4 Scab-Clan Maulers, so red green for 1/1 with Bloodthirst 2. So if an opponent was dealt damage this turn, this creature comes into play with 2 1/1 counters on it and trample. So the other thing, of course, with this, which I didn't mention and I should have done, of course, this comes into play. It has Summoning Sickness. So I'm looking at this thinking, like, what would be a really cool, like, turn 1, turn 2. So was it turn 1 Kird Ape off of a Stomping Ground? Comes into play with Summoning Sickness. And then this comes into play on turn 2, and you swing with this in the turn. So if an opponent was dealt damage this turn, this creature gets +1/+1 counts on it, and if an opponent, so it has to get through, of course. So you manage to get through with that, and that gets 1/1 counters on it as well. So you've now got a 2/3 in play and a 3/3 in play, and then this untaps, or doesn't have Summoning Sickness on turn 3. Boom, it's got trample. Okay, anyway, what else? 4 Burning-Tree Shamans, 1 red green with a 3. It's a 3/4. That's cool. Whenever a player plays an activated ability that isn't a mana ability, Burning-Tree Shaman deals 1 damage to that player. Wow. Okay. So already you got 3/4 for 3. Admittedly, it's red-green colour combination, so a little tricky to cast, but we've got access to those colours. It's a 3/4, and it does damage to a player if they. So and again, careful here. Whenever a player plays an activated ability that isn't a mana ability, so that applies if you're playing any activated abilities that aren't mana abilities. It's going to ding you as well. It's going to ping you. Then top of the curve, creature-wise, we've got 4 of these. So they hybrid mana to cast, 2 red green. It's a 4/1. It has trample and haste, so doesn't have Summoning Sickness, and it can't be the target of spells or abilities. But it's gonna not do so well in combat because it's a 4/1. So it could be blocked by a 1/1 and die, but if it's blocked by a 1/1, 3 power tramples over. So interesting. To see what buffing we've got. So we've got 3 Moldervine Cloaks, 2 and a green, enchant creature, enchanting creature gets +3/3, and it has dread on it. Dread, did I say dread? I meant dredge. It has dredge on it. If you would draw a card, instead you may put exactly 2 cards from the top of your library into your graveyard. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand, otherwise draw a card. Instant wise, what we got? 4 Chars, 2 and a red, 4 damage to target creature or player, and 2 damage to you. Okay, we'll talk about something else in a moment that's connected with that. So we got 3 Flames of the Blood Hand, 2 and a red, deals 4 damage to target player. The damage can't be prevented. If that player would gain life this turn, that player gains no life instead. These are both instants, so they can be used as combat tricks. And we move straight onto our land. So no sorceries here. So 27 creatures, 3 enchantments, 7 instants. And then our land base, which is 23. Now, what I'm looking at here is it's one of these decks where you're on a bit of a clock, because a lot of these cards here, you can see, are going to do damage to you. I mean, this you can control here. This, well, yeah, as long as you don't play an activated ability, you're all right. But this one, you know, there's no choice. It's going to do 2 damage to you. And we'll have a look in the sideboard, see if there's any way of preventing that damage. I don't know if there is. But yeah, so has a, you know, it's red-green aggressive deck, but it's got a little bit of that, you know, feel you get with aggressive mono black decks, where, you know, you got to win pretty quick because there's cards in here which are gonna you know, start chipping away at your life totals as well, beyond what gets chipped away by your opponent. So in land base, so 6 forests, nice artwork, 4 Karplusan, mangled that, Karplusan, yeah, no, it's actually Karplusan, isn't it? Yeah, Karplusan Forests. So these ones from 9th edition, add 1 to your mana pool and then tap them red-green to your mana pool. However, if you choose to do that, then they deal 1 damage to you. Nice artwork again. We've got 7 mountains. We've got 2 Skarrg the Rage Pits. Add 1 colours to your mana pool. Red-green, tap, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. And then Stomping Ground. So it comes into play, you may pay 2 life. If you don't, Stomping Ground comes into play tapped instead. So our sideboard, several cards here we've seen from previous weeks. Naturalize is turning up a lot, and that's no surprise. Yeah, it's in the core set. Great way of dealing with enchantments, artifacts. It's 1 and a green. If you're playing green, why not? Got 2 Tin Street Hooligans, 1 and a red, 2/1. When Tin Street Hooligan comes into play, if green was spent to play Tin Street Hooligan, destroy target artifact. It's another way of getting rid of artifacts. Yeah, Umezawa's Jitte makes another appearance in another tournament deck. All 4 copies in the sideboard here. So yeah, nothing in the main board. Whenever an equipped creature deals combat damage, put 2 charge counters on Umezawa's Jitte. You move the charge counters from it. Choose one. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, or target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn, or you gain 2 life. Equipped for 2. So Blood Moon was in the 9th edition core set. 2 in a red, non-basic lands are mountains. It's an enchantment. A further copy of Flames of the Bloodhand in here. There you go. And then we've got 2 copies of Rumbling Slum, 1 red and then 2 green. So 5/5 at the beginning of your upkeep, Rumbling Slum deals 1 damage to each player. So yeah, another card where it's sort of putting the clock on you a bit. So yeah, so a nice red-green aggro deck. Yeah, good template I think for other stuff actually. You know, you've got your low casting cost red cards here, which have interesting abilities on them. And then we slowly, as we get higher up the curve, we've got the heavier, you know, green stuff. But again, because of the set here, you know, we've got 2 colour cards. But yeah, red here as a colour doing a lot of work, as you can see. But yeah, our mana base is about equal. What's the curve on that then? Yeah, so I suppose it's not far off. I always forget to go down here and have a look at this. Interesting curve actually. Got a lot of stuff around 3-drop. I'm assuming that's because a number of our, yeah, and a lot of our utility is there, is sitting there. Right. Let's move on. So there's our nice forest from the main set. 4 pieces of artwork. Take note. I mean, come on, if you're gonna print a set and have artwork in it, you might as well go for the full 4 pieces, I reckon. And mountains. Yeah, I've always been partial to the Ravnica artwork. I like the different sort of styles of cityscapes that they have here. Yeah, it looks like the same 4 artists. Nice. That looks pretty old school, doesn't it? Okay. I don't know how much in addition I'm going to have to say about these, because these have featured this, you know, we've looked at probably about 3 weeks now, whenever we started doing 9th edition. So 9th, we did Ravnica City of Guilds last week, and then this week, Guildpact. But yeah, it's Cycle of Pain lands. It's a pain land, and there are 47 pain lands in Magic. If Ed actually decides to come up, just thinking about it. Let me just make sure nothing has gone wrong. Strange. Try again. Doesn't want to talk about Painlands for some reason. Oh well, let's have a look this way. So yeah, you can see, I mean, I was hoping to look at the newer stuff. Obviously my internet is on a bit of a go slow. Yeah, sorry, the older artwork, but I think you get an idea. And like I said, we've looked at these in previous weeks. Ah, interesting. Have I lost Scryfall? That would be rather unfortunate for this series. Let me just check something off screen. No. Other websites are working. Okay, maybe it was just having a funny 5 minutes. Either it or my... Let's move on, see how we do. Might just be a glitch. Okay, Stomping Ground. There we go. Yep, so again, we've looked at these before. Shocklands, better than Shivan Oasis. Yeah, a lot of the lookups are really busted today. How strange. Right, anyway, I'm not too worried with those two simply because we have on previous episodes, I've gone down quite deep rabbit holes on both of those. So Skarrg, the Rage Pits, hopefully I can look at this one. Okay, what have we got? Cycle of the Guildhall, yeah, so these were... So, if you remember with the original Ravnica, they spread out the guilds over the course of 3 sets. So it was like a 4-3-3 breakdown. So here we're into the second set, so we're going to see 3 from that. Oh, there we go. See, weird. It's working. This is working fine, and this is working fine. Very strange. Okay, so this is the full guild cycle of guild halls. But if we sorted it by release date. And do first printing, we would have looked at these previously. Sending. So yeah, there's Dustmantle, the Sunhome, Sphigthos, Vitu-Gaza, the City Tree from last week. And then here's the 3 from the set that's just come out previous to this tournament. There's Skarrg, the Rage Pits. And then next week we'll see whether we see any of these. I do like this artwork actually. These are nice. How much are these? Let's go down a price rabbit hole. Okay. Ooh, this is looking promising. Come on, there's got to be one that's super expensive. No, okay. Well, that's not a nice little set, isn't it? So Skarrg is the most expensive one. Oh, that's lovely. We'll have to see how many of when I do the artwork video. See if I cracked any of these when I open some packs. Yeah, I thought that had turned up in Commander a few times. couple of times in Commander. It's all it's all the same artist. Awesome. I've got a pen somewhere. I'm just going to make a note of this. I know I've got some of the reprints of these probably. Right. What else do I want to look at? Just see. Yeah, utility land gives trample. Virtual legendary. Yeah, that's true. So, in the case of lands, and this looks like I've definitely looked at this before, I think. But maybe not. Oh no, just creatures. Okay. Yeah. So you got these. Oh yes, and these of course. From Zendikar. And then the castles from Throne of Eldraine. These are in here because they have land on the flip side. There's the World Tree. That's nice artwork. The Biblioplex and Argoth, Sanctum of Nature. Cool. Okay, Burning-Tree Shaman. So 1 red green, it's a 3/4. Let's see what's going on here. Burn player, it's a hate bear. What is that? Small creatures with a hate effect. Okay. So that's its only proviso. So was that anything below 3 or below? Hate activation. Whenever a player plays it. Okay, what do we got? That falls into the category of hate activation. Old school artwork there. Power Leech. 2 green. Gain 1 life whenever one of an opponent's artifacts becomes tapped, or whenever an activation cost opponent's artifact is paid. It's not triggered by continuous artifacts. How have they reworded that? Whenever an artifact an opponent controls becomes tapped, or an opponent activates an artifact's ability without tap in its activation cost, you gain 1 life. Okay. Yeah, there's Suppression Field and Oppressive Rays. Pithing Needle. Phyrexian Revoker. Did I... Yep, sorry about that. I forgot to do is first printing, because I think Phyrexian Revoker and Cursed Totem had earlier artwork. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's Pithing Needle. Yeah, that's right, because that was in Myriad and Besiege, wasn't it? That's more like it. Runic Armosaur. That's nice. yeah, so symmetrical, these ones that do whatever they do to all things, if you like, whatever it is they're doing it to. That could be a wrath effect, that could be protection effects, single damage stuff, yeah, fog effects. Dryad Sophisticate, right. What do we got for Dryad Sophisticate? Evasion, hate for non-basic lands, and a French vanilla walker. Okay. So there are 65 cards in the Scryfall database Magic that have been tagged up as French vanilla creatures with only a landwalk ability. And it's a rabbit hole we haven't been down. Well, I think we're gonna have to do this because it's demanded. I just want to see what creatures we got. Bog Wraith, okay. Shanodin Dryads, Righteous Avengers, Devouring Deep. So, yes, of course, Cat Warriors. We got some old school stuff here. Oh, I've got a few from Portal. Yeah, at some point, I want to take a look at Portal. So I'm thinking in the next couple of weeks, maybe, whenever I have to make a bit of a change. I'm going to need to make a change up on the Saturday video because I'm going to buy within the next couple of weeks. I would have run out of commander decks to talk about or to revisit. So I was going to revisit some other decks I have, like theme decks or yeah, whatever takes my fancy. Actually, I was going to be a bit more unpredictable with it, just random theme decks and dual decks and whatever that I haven't revisited for recently. Look at those again. So while I was at it, I thought I might change up the Wednesday, which is now the Wednesday video, the one where I do the Commander Fodder episode, to do a set musings on supplemental sets, sets that weren't released as part of the sort of standard framework, and that would fall into these categories. And I've been threatening to do these for a while, I think, so I should get around to do it. So that'll be cool, because then we'll have a deck musings episode and a set musings episode in the same week going forward. So it's about 2 weeks from now, roughly. So yeah. And of course we can look at these as well, Three Kingdoms. So that'll be cool. I don't know, we've got all the Zodiacs there. Bog Smugglers. Oh, wow. So which of these just have some form of like non-specific... do any have just Landwalk? I'm trying to remember. Didn't I look into that before and found that it wasn't? Oh, that's on Island. Yeah, I don't. So non-basic Landwalk. Just looking to see what variations we have here. Oh, damn it. And tell you my C has stopped working. That'll be funny. Bloody God, I'm having one of those mornings this morning. My keyboard is now playing up. Strange. I do have another keyboard actually to hand for such things. That's really odd. Just check and see what's going on here. I think this video is cursed. Let me see if I can. I'm going to have a slightly louder keyboard here. See, this is how you know these videos are not edited in any way. This is all genuine failures. It's all part of the rich tapestry of life. Okay. Let me plug in my trusty mechanical keyboard. Okay. That is really odd. That is not working either. Okay. Something is mysteriously afoot today. Okay. So that doesn't make any difference. Yeah, the only reason I don't use my nice mechanical keyboard on these videos is it's just so loud. So I have one of those sort of very slim like membrane type HP keyboards that come with like an HP machine. So I'm just closing a few windows here just in case it's something really stupid. Okay, don't know what's going on there. That was really odd. Okay. Funny. Yeah. Strange. It's possibly something I've got off screen. I've been seeing this a lot recently, unfortunately. There's so many more sites now running excessive advertising. I suppose they've got to make money somehow, but it's getting a bit of a problem. I suppose I could switch on an ad blocker again. I have done that in the past, but sometimes that has its own challenges because now they sort of detect you're using it and keep coming out with these warnings. So yeah. Anyway, let's get back to where we were before the disruption. Hillcomber Giant. Bog Tatters. What's the most recent one? Okay. Right. Frenzied Goblin. GG. Okay. Yeah, attacks, right. Oh, that's been reprinted a few times, hasn't it? It's also in those guild kits. Attack trigger, prevent block evasion. Synergy attacker self. Is that a thing we've looked at before? I don't think so. So synergy attacker self. Any notes with that? No. Okay. Let's just get this in order and we'll probe a little deeper. Oh, camel. All creatures attacking in a band with camel are immune to damage done by deserts. Well, that's pretty specific. Oh, floral spasm from Legends. Cat People, Neckrites, Mindstab Thrall. Oh, we have Joven's Ferrets. Fall into that category. Yep, so synergy, attack herself. Sidar Jabbar with flanking. Oh, we got things like Spirit of the Night fall into that category. Pygmy Hippo. Yeah, Ophidian. And that was that one where the card draw ability was connected to this. So, you know, 0, draw a card. Ophidian deals no combat damage this turn. Uses ability only if Ophidian is attacking and unblocked, and only once each turn. And that's how it is in the Oracle text. So it's been, yeah, it's been reprinted a few times. Yeah, so all sorts of different ways that comes about. And you can see it's pretty, it can get pretty wordy with some of these, depending on the different things that it's trying to do or not do, or synergize with in some way. Oh, it's Corona of the False God there. And this is us. And there's Witchmore Nephilim. So a couple of Nephilisms. Oh dear. A couple of the Nephilim fall into that category. Oh, there's the Enchanter. I'm looking forward, because we're fast approaching this set, which is like a one-off set. There's a whole backstory around this Cold Snap, like made up backstory as to why it's gone out on its own. But yeah, we'll be getting to that soon, so that'll be nice, because I think it came out between the end of the original Ravnica block. So between when the last set of that block was released and the first set of Time Spiral block, I think that's right. So yeah, good opportunity to see. I'm not sure what happened there. Actually, it'd be interesting to see what happened tournament-wise, how that slotted in, because they made out that it was part of the Ice Age block and it had gone missing. And I haven't actually looked into it yet, and I can't remember how it slotted into standard. So we'll see when we get there. We'll see what how it slotted into tournament play, and I'll have to adjust accordingly. See how I'm going to handle that. I may have to resort to theme decks if it didn't sort of turn up in some sort of constructed format, maybe, because I always have problems with featuring limited decks, because the amount of different cards in the deck can make it quite a lot of tabs. Okay, Giant Solifuge. So, okay, we'll have a look at this. There was some cycles that were cycles because of the fact that they had certain configurations of hybrid mana, which often will happen in a two-colour set. Sometimes the cycles are just a cycle of cards which fit in this sort of colour slot groove, and beyond that there might not be any commonalities in the abilities or anything else, but we'll see. Another French vanilla card, because, and although you can see here, so just so you're clear, French vanilla, these creatures and vehicles have only keyword abilities, but of course at that point this particular ability wasn't keyworded, but if you look you can see that's what was keyworded as a shroud. Can't be the target of spells or abilities. Shroud. As opposed to hexproof, which is can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control, or your opponent's spells or abilities, however you want to say it. Right. Yeah, so I want to look at this cycle actually. Ooh, this looks nice. Okay, so we'll put it in set order. What did I just do? Oh. I need that. That's better. So yeah, 4 from Ravnica City of Guilds, 3 from Guildpact, so white, black, blue, red, red, green, and then 3 from Dissension, which we'll be having a look at next week. Okay. Yeah, and if you look, you can see here, well, they're hybrid rares. There's nothing. Sometimes there'll be some cycles where actually it's also based on the breakdown of the sort of mana symbols as well, but not so much here. It's just the fact that they're hybrid and they're at rare. Puts them in the cycle. And if you look at it, I'm just trying to see. Yes, they're not even the same type of card. Like some are creatures, some are instants, some are enchantments. What do we have with the creatures? Any commonalities there? I mean, you have, I suppose, at least one keyworded ability and something else with it. Yeah, at the time, because like I said, this has now been keyworded. So. Right. Kird Ape. Of course, as you probably know, that's a card from way back. So, Arabian Nights. Are these in... Yeah, they are. Is this in release date order? It is now. Yeah, so Arabian Nights. Then it was printed in revised, which is interesting. So it was in that beatdown box set. It was a FNM card from 2005 and 9th edition. And then after that, from the Vault Exiled. What else was in that from the Vault then? Bit of a side quest going on here. So, set VO9, is that it? I've got 2 or 3 of these from the vaults. I'm not sure if I have the exiled one or not. Thinking about it. I'm scared to look at the cards. They're probably quite bendy by now. Yeah, these had like special foiling, didn't they? Didn't that make them super bendy as well? I seem to remember. Okay, what else can we say about this card? Synergy with forests. Oh, Loam Lion. So yeah, that was a colour shifted one in the next. So that got colour shifted a couple of sets after. Was it the middle set with this style of in the colour shifted slot where, yeah, in the time shifted shot, whatever they called that slot. Anyway, so that was forest, but it was in white. Kird Chieftain. Okay, I feel Kird Tribal coming my way. And yeah, quite a number of cards have synergies with forests. Yeah. So if I wanted to build a forest synergy deck, what would that look like? What would be the legend? So we've got 9 possible ones here which have forest synergies. What? Oh yeah, of course, this from Future Sight. So we're definitely mono green there. So when we have access to black, we'll see whether there were any other forest synergies in black in a moment. Beyond that, so yeah, in terms of a legendary that also has that ability on it, we don't break out much from the colours really, do we? So let me just see. Okay. So these would be playable. Woodwraith Corruptor. That's nice. Was that part of a cycle? What was that? Triple cut? Oh, MMN. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, this is a good example of the sort of thing I was talking about when I was talking about the other stuff, where you've got like a mana pattern dictating the cycle. So if I try and do this, here we go. It looks a bit over the map, doesn't it? Yeah, that's because, there we go. Must have looked at this very recently. Right. The other reason, of course, I didn't think about it, some of these could be coming up is as a result of, that's something I didn't think through. They could be coming up as a result of set Musings episodes as well. It's another possibility. So. Okay. So 5. Okay, so yeah, it's an extra one here. Yeah, the rarity isn't even consistent actually. So yeah, the reason why there's 11 is we've got 2 in black, green. Okay. So, forest synergies. All as a result of going down a Kird Ape rabbit hole. Nice gauntlets. Okay. I suppose what they're implying that our ape friend here needs wood to create its gauntlets. Maybe that's it. Right. Scab-Clan Mauler. Nice. Alright. Oh, was in Ravnica Remastered. Gains counters. That's a pretty war. Yeah, that happens all over the place. So, with Bloodthirst then, if I actually spell Bloodthirst correctly, which, you know, is a thing. Have we seen that? Where have we seen that? Okay. Oh, that's because it's got Bloodthirsty Ogre on it. I'm assuming if I did something like this. Yeah. Okay. So Guildpact, obviously because of the its ability from what, red-green, from that particular guild, from Gruul. And we get it turning up in Future Sight, which doesn't surprise me because they chucked everything into Future Sight. Bloodthirst with flanking, I hasten to add. And then it came back in M12. There's quite a number of cards in M12 with it. And then it's sort of put in appearance quickly for the Jurassic World collection. And here you can see, so for this set, obviously locked into Guildpact because of the sort of delineation between the different guilds, you know, the 433 thing. But in M12 we get Bloodthirst in black. But just the name of the ability, that makes sense to have vampires with Bloodthirst, just in terms of the actual word. Okay, Scorched Rusalka. I was in the Sorin versus Tibble deck. That's probably where first product I would have opened with it in, I think. Oh, yep. Cycle of Rusalkas. What have we got? White, blue. Let me actually get it. Sorted by colour, that's better. White, blue, black, red, green. Sack a creature and then you get something. Target creature can't attack this turn, so very localised fog effect. Local fog. Actually no, that's not right, is it? It's not fog, because that would be prevents damage. Yeah, just we can't, so it's locking it down. It's like a what? Pacifism type effect, but just for the duration of the turn. Drown Rusalka. Discard a card, draw a card. It's interesting, so that's got you're discarding a card first before you draw a card. So that's got rummaging on it, hasn't it, instead of looting? Am I right about that? Yeah. So that's blue rummaging, not looting. Looting's around the other way. Draw a card, then discard. Plagued Rusalka, -1/-1 until end of turn. Let's be technically correct here. It's the artwork from the set, although it's the same artwork. Treatment looks slightly different. Okay, that's the 1 damage one, yeah. Starve Rusalka. Gain 1 life. Do they see much play? Or have they been reprinted? That one's been reprinted. That was actually pre-printed from Modern Masters. That was in that Is It versus Golgari deck. I just got some pretty cool stuff in it, actually. We certainly should see some interesting artwork on Friday. So there's Char, which we would have... we had a look at this last week, didn't we? But yeah, I'm looking forward to these cards are from Guildpact, which is what we're going to be looking at on the Friday artwork video. So pleased about that. Yeah, Char's from set before that, when we looked at last week. It was released around the time of the tournament we looked at last week. So these 15th anniversary cards. It's in the From the Vault 20 Magic Online promos. What do they say about this? Burning-Tree Drawback. Okay. Sonic Blast. So it's colour shifted. But that, although it was in... Let me just bring that up. So, yeah, that goes way back to Alpha and Beta Unlimited era. And then it suddenly turned up as a time-shifted card from Time Spiral. So the first set of the Time Spiral block. But before that, it was reprinted in this set, but in red. In Guildpact, but in red. Interesting. So if I sort of compare and contrast the two, how many... Yeah. Interesting that it was in blue. Wow. I mean, there's tons of stuff in the Burning category. We've definitely looked at that before. Yeah. So. Okay, Flames of the Blood Hand. This was Portrayals of Kamigawa. It was also in that premium deck series, the Fire and Lightning one, which we looked at in one of the Saturday decks revisited videos I did. That's one of the early ones from that series. So for that, if you remember, they were all foil. They look pretty nice, actually. That seeing a red deck all foiled out looked pretty cool. Okay, removal Planeswalker burn. What's that? Okay. Oh, because it's doing 4 damage to target player, so it can also burn a Planeswalker. Okay, yeah, so there's 327 burn spells which are capable of targeting Planeswalkers. No surprise there. Unpreventable damage, how widespread is that? 27. Okay. Does that only occur in red? That's funny. Let me just check that. Yeah, looks like we've been here before. Okay, so it starts off in green. Okay, as is the way. Yeah, early days of Magic, colour pie, ooh. Yeah, a little bit dicey. Oh, look at this fella. 8 in a red, these ones, yeah. So for invasion, 2 in a red. It's like got kicker of 8 in a red. It can't be countered by spells or abilities anyway, regardless. What's the kicker in here? What does that add? So 3 damage, unkicked. If you play the kicker cost, you get 10 damage. And it can't be prevented. Okay, so it can't be countered as is, but the damage can't be prevented bit comes in with the the kicker cost. There's an instant with it on. Okay, sorcery instant. Yep. Okay. Is that on a X spell? Demon Fire deals X damage to target creature or player. If a creature dealt damage this way would be put into a graveyard this turn, remove it from the game instead. Okay, so it gets exiled, and then so it's got Hellbent on it. So if you have no cards in hand, Demon Fire can't be countered by spells or abilities, and the damage can't be prevented. It's just reminding me of something as well. One thing I will make sure I'll do, and I've been doing more recently with this, is I will make sure that I include a link to the set Musings episode for this on this video. So if you wanted to check out in detail like what was going on in the guilds, then you can do that. It's probably more relevant with this way they handled the block, I think, than any time else, but I'm pretty sure going forward I'm just going to automatically include the set musings that line up with the particular period in the tournament scene that we're covering for these deck musings. So if you are curious about the set as a whole, you know, the set we happen to be sort of around at the time of that tournament, then yeah, you can check that out. Oh, Banefire. I remember Combust from M11. And you got Leyline of Punishment as well. Oh yeah, lots of cards here I suddenly recognise. Yeah, these interesting red finishes. Also really interesting when they're at common. Yeah, really, I have to say anything above like 4 damage or above. If you're, drafting or drafting or limited, playing limited. And we got an enchantment. That's interesting too. Black red. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented. All damage is dealt as though its source had wither. Wow. So that's all damage. Okay, so this is across the board. So completely symmetrical. So players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented. All damage is dealt as though its source has wither. -1, -1 counters. That pretty much changes. So I'm just thinking, like, if you're playing like a black-red chaos deck in Commander, that would really change things up, wouldn't it? How much is that? Huh, it was in Commander 2016. I didn't realise that. Okay, yeah. I don't know what that deck was. Okay, interesting. This is the card I really like for some reason. When I saw it, Conflux, X and a red, deals X damage to target creature player. Effect is 5 or more. Banefly can't be countered by spells or abilities, and the damage can't be prevented. That's why I remember it like it's in Jewels of the Planeswalker. And that speed versus cunning deck. Did they ever change the artwork? No. That must have been what the core set promo for the pre-release, I'm assuming. That's cool artwork though. I don't think you want to change that. So is Arrowstorm. Oh, of course, Questing Beast. Yeah, that was it. 2 and 2 green, 4/4. Did I open one of these? What was this from? Throne of Eldraine? No. Had I stopped? I can't remember if I'd stopped opening. Magic put up by then. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Not sure. Throne of Eldraine. Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target Planeswalker instead. So I just want to look something up quick off camera. Yeah, I did. Okay, that must be nearly one of the last bundles I opened in, because I opened a bundle of that. Okay. And I have done a set Musings, and already when I did that, I did a Commander Durdle. Okay, Moldervine Cloak. 3/3 enchant creature with Dredge 2. Good old Dredge. If you draw a card, you may mill 2 cards instead. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. So yeah, it's in the graveyard. Mill Self, Regrowth Self. Better than Hardened Scale Armour. What's that then? Enchant creature. Gets +3/+3. Oaken Form, which is +3/+3 with enchant creature. They're both the same cost they are, but so it's basically with Dredge on it. You can, yeah. Interesting ability. I much prefer things like this, playing it on Magic the Gathering Online, for instance. Yeah. Just sort of reminds you. regrowth self stuff. I mean, with this sort of thing, I suppose curiosity wise, if you've got gets, just see, yeah, lots of stuff that buffs. Once you get up to that, what are you talking about though? 3/3, okay. I mean, I think it's the case, and again, there's going to be ones here that, you know, contradict what I'm going to say, but generally, I always got the impression there was a sort of bit of a move towards symmetrical pumping, but no, it's still a thing. But clearly, there's more instances of symmetrical pump than asymmetrical. And there are things, I suppose, that tend to crop up more than others when they are in that sort of asymmetrical category. There's Oaken Form. That's another one I sort of remember. I put this in. Let's try and do a bit of a better job here. It's better. Yeah, good old unstable mutation. That's more like it now. Now I can see if I'm right. That's better. I wonder why they were jumping all over the place. Okay, so this is the most recent stuff. Yeah, +3 +3. That's +3 +2. That's 0. It's easy to misread. Oh yeah, Daybreak Coronet, that's right. Glacial plating, okay. So it's got to be done. How high can we go? So 6 cards where it's +4 power. It's +4 +0. Epic proportions. 7 +7. That's our 8/8. No 9/9. Now, isn't it the case that there's a 10/10? That's Eldrazi Conscription. I don't know if there's anything beyond that. Yeah, probably that might be the highest without going too far. So we're now definitely into, well, we're getting into sideboard territory. In actual fact, where were we? Yeah, so we had an additional copy of that. So yeah, we're in sideboard territory, not going through in any particular order, but so let's have a look. Blood Moon, banned in Historic. Okay. Blood Moon effect. So you can see, if we look, there's quite a few cards that do a similar thing, both in red but also in other colours. What other stuff? So yeah, Prison. You know, basically locking down in some way. So, I mean, generally my impression has always been that they tend not to like to print these sort of cards because it just makes things really miserable. So yeah, there's got to be a sort of specific reason a lot of the time, but that came up in a core set. So we'll have a look and see in a moment, like when it's been reprinted and stuff like that. Land conversion, yeah, taking basically something and making it something else. There's been quite a few of those. That you just do it to varying degrees. Rules nightmare. Cards that have our interactions are difficult and nearly impossible to resolve within comprehensive rules. Funny. So just out of curiosity, what's in there? Raging River, Camouflage. Oh, yes. Has to be on the list. Okay, we've got a few wacky cards. That's better. Animate Dead, Word of Command, Raging River, Library of Leng. So didn't they... What do they do here? So you have no minimum hand size. So it's an interesting card. Like if you want an extra one of those cards in your deck that where you have no minimum hand size. If an effect causes you to discard a card, discard it, but you may put it on top of your library instead of into your graveyard. So it's got that additional ability on it. I think I've got a 4th edition copy somewhere, maybe. So I bought for some reason, I can't remember why. Oh, Icy Cauldron, yeah. Karmic Justice. Life and Limb, yeah, Painter's Servant. Winged Splendor, wow. Oh, there's Mages of the Moon. So, what do we got? Let's just put this in that order, yeah. So, From the Dark, then it turns up again in 8th edition and 9th. We get it in Modern Masters. Modern Masters 2017 as well. There's an Amonkhet Invocation, 25th anniversary card, Double Masters. Different artwork for Double Masters. That would have been what, online? Yep. 25 again. What's this? Oh, it's a secret lair drop. Enchanting Tales. Yeah, okay. So yeah, obviously been a bit careful where they reprint it. Boom. Naturalize, yeah, we've looked at this multiple times. Both in the last few weeks and generally, yeah, Naturalize effects. It's a episode all-star, I think. It's done made in a lot of appearances. Okay. Rumbling Slum. What can we say about this? What can we find out about this? Burn player each. Yeah. Oh, so another another sort of mana shape cycle. I don't think it's one we looked at previously. Yeah, so this is the other one. So this would have been there we go. Release date, ascending. So yeah, there's our Ravnica City Guilds. There's the 4, and his Rumbling Slum, part of the 3 from Guildpact. So blue, red, red, green, white, black, and then Dissension, black, red, white, blue, green, blue. And you can see, yeah, the shape is 2 of one colour, sorry, 1 of one colour and then 2 of the other. But beyond that, I mean, 5/5 for 4. It deals 1 damage to each player, including you. Which again, we've seen quite a bit over the years. But, I mean, whole 4/4 for 5. So CMC of 4 with power. Did I say 4/4 for 5? I meant to say 5/5 for 4, didn't I? Oh dear. Fortunately, we're getting near the end of the video. Right. There we go. 59 cards. So as we get through to this point, and well, just see, because 5/5 for 4. This is the sort of card that's interesting to look at. So you can see here, back in the days of Jin, however you say that. So 2 and 2 black, 5/5, but it does 1 damage to you during your upkeep. So you can see the sort of downsides here. So here this one is just doing 1 damage to you, but not to anybody else. We've got other cards that are 5/5 for 4s, where there might be an additional cost of, outside of just damage. Or some sort of condition, as for in terms of it staying in play. Now this is interesting. This one's sort of permanently adding an extra green to spells you play. This one's helping out your opponent if the criteria is met. Here we are. There was these hunted ones as well, so this would put some other creature into play under a target opponent's control. So those came up last week when we were looking at the deck. So 1 damage to each player. So that's a interesting way of just turning the power up a little bit. You're still getting 1 damage, but your opponents are getting damage. It's another one where it's actually just doing damage to you. This one's got vanishing on it. So it has vanishing, so it will disappear out of play when the town counters have run out. But this also has Shroud on it. And now we're getting into, the region of Phyrexian Obliterator. So you get a 5/5, but you're heavily invested in black. It does have trample as well. And whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. So here the only downside is you've got to play mono black. And yeah, is that a downside? Not to me. Yeah, but I always find that fascinating. You know, when you look at a card where, based on its casting cost versus power toughness, yeah, it's above the curve. And then look at those cards through Magic's history, that combination, and just see what's happened in terms of, you know, power creep. Look at this, we got a 5/5 for 4 with flying. If damage would be dealt to Phyrexian Vindicator, prevent that damage. When damage is prevented this way, Phyrexian Vindicator does that much damage to any other target. Does it look like we've got, I was going to say, would it be accurate to say we see, we can check this. What I'm curious about now, having seen that, is if I say the colour identity is 1, yeah, I can't really, I'm just trying to think if there's a way of, oh, there is, isn't there? And I can't remember how you do it. You can put the pattern in. So I'm just going to have to eyeball it for the moment. But yeah, there's a pattern thing. So there's the 4 black one. I'm looking for ones where it's all, you know, 4 in all the same colour. So the all white one, there's an all red one in alchemy. Yeah, so no. No is the answer, not in every colour. Okay. What do we have now? Oh. Tin Street Hooligan. New card at this time. Oh, Ravnica Forward Boost. What's that then? Let us have a look. Okay, there's our Ravnica City of Guilds. Here's our Guildpact ones. Okay, so yeah, so blue black, black green, red white, green white, white black, blue red, red green, white blue, black red, and then green blue. So yeah, extra stuff if you spent a certain colour. Because the guild, so it's it's cycle of 10, isn't it? Guild colours they would have. So I was just mesmerised by the watermark. Yeah, so they're going to have the watermark on them. It's interesting with, so this is just, so that one's a straight counter spell. Turn creature card from place. I'm just looking to see like what you get with or without this extra thing. So these ones are fairly straightforward. As are these. Does this have quite a bit of extra stuff on it, even if you don't pay the... So this unblockable for life. Oh, so sacrifices them less. Oh, okay, so these ones I see now, right. That's changed it quite a bit, hasn't it? So you sack it unless you pay that. Right, so, okay. It's slowly dawning on me. So we got this weird, Oh, yeah. Like, to me, it reminds me of a weird version of like Evoke. Except, yeah, you're not really getting a reduction in the casting cost, are you? You're just getting like, okay. So that you just get the spell effect if you don't have the access to that colour. Right, okay. It's interesting. So that was quite a big change, wasn't it, between, yeah, in the cycle, like what the cycle did. I'm assuming that played to the strengths of other stuff that was in, you know, the particular guild. So for that, the next set, you know, would be the white, blue, you know, black, red, and green, blue guilds. Huh. Oh, I don't know if I need to talk about this. I think this is featured pretty much in every episode since it when we covered a tournament era when it was, yeah, when it had been reprinted. So yeah, from I think every episode since Betrayers came out, we've been talking about this. So I don't know if I need to add anything more to it. Banned in Modern. If we go into the tagger, I don't think there's anything else here yet. Saboteur we spoke about previous episodes. Namesake spell, removal creature toughness. You can see here similar stuff on an enchantment saga. It's on a charm. If you look at this, you'll see that in here it's laid out more like a modal spell would be laid out. And the point at which that changed, I suppose, was from the Vault lore. It's also like that in the Secret Lair drop as well. Funny enough, the list version isn't. So yeah. Okay, so there we have it. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It was fun to do once again. Yeah, interesting deck. Yeah, I must admit I'm a little bit partial to the slightly more simpler, yeah, good old either red-green aggro, red-white aggro, blue-white flyers, you know, mono-black, mono-red aggro type decks. Yeah. And going sort of down more of a control route. But this, yeah, had an interesting, you know, clock aspect on it in terms of with certain configurations of cards, you know, you're keeping an eye on your life total because that's being chiseled away a little bit by certain cards and certain synergy or anti-synergy combinations, I suppose would be a better way of thinking of it. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.